Good afternoon, everyone. It is almost 5 o'clock here in the Eastern time zone. Sitting down to trade that after hours session. Looks like we have CIGL, SUNE. It's really all I see at the moment that are low float that are moving. Coming into the after hours session, I'm down $481 on the day. I took, I think, 5 trades pre-market, and it wasn't good. I traded from 4 to 4:30, had some stuff to do, came back, traded from 6:30 to 7:30. I just couldn't get on the right side of anything. I think I was down 150. First trade I was down $32, and then the next trade combined I was down 150. I can't remember if that was before 4:30 or if that was after 6:30 when I started again. Regardless, after that second trade and I was down 150, I had the thought in my mind, like, you know, this isn't going to be a good day for pre-market trading. Like, on the good days, I'm already like up a decent amount by 4:30, and we just weren't having it. You had a couple stocks that were kind of moving, but more or less I was forcing the trades. Nothing looked good and everything was really choppy. So the trades I did take, they weren't good at all. They were low quality trades. I think one I held a bit too long. There was another one that like flushed when I got in. I think I tried having a tight stop of under 10 cents. I ended up, I think, with 20 cents of 21 cents. Yeah, it was this ELAB here. I jumped in ELAB at 4:33. Tried getting out, break even, and it just like flushed down instantly on me. And I got out at 4:11. So all said and done, down 481 coming into the after hours. I have about $1,400 in buying power. I'm gonna go ahead and see if something looks great. I will probably take it to see if I can reduce that loss. My stop is gonna be break even. I'm already down past my max loss on the day, so technically I should walk away, but I'm just gonna give it and see if something looks good, and if it doesn't, just not trade. Just roll with the loss that I have. But if I do get in something, stop. It has to be break even. If my timing's off, I get in and it just goes down, like I'm out, you know. So I don't want to make that loss any worse than it already is. I realize by trading, I'm taking on that risk, but I do think if something looks good in after hours, could mitigate the loss slightly. Looking at the scanners, 5 o'clock. ELPW, back in it. Not really though, it's just barely above $1, so I don't really have an interest in that one. Again, I'm trying not to trade anything below $2. Just not having good luck. I have 4, I guess you could say, performance metrics on stocks below $2, so trying to stay away. Right now, CIGL is the only thing that looks good. Doesn't look like it has news. It's a Singapore company. Industrial sector. It's interesting that it popped up right to 5. Now it's just going sideways. Kind of curious why that is. But if this thing can get moving, it has had some big days in the past. You can see it September of last year and then October of last year. Pretty nice move up. Unfortunately, it gave all that back, but it has been known to kind of run to the upside some. So that makes me somewhat interested in it. Looking, I mean to do that. Looking at the bottom left here, if I click this, no. Well, so I'll post all the live trades after this. I'll try to timestamp it because there's a lot of like nothing happening. So I don't want to bore everyone, but I'll try to timestamp it so you can at least fast forward the boring bits. But first trade was on FATN. Yeah, I didn't even trade prior to before 6:30. So yeah, I guess when I left at 4:30, I hadn't taken any trades. So 6:35, I took my first trade, got out for a 4-cent loss. That was down $32. Tried the same stock. That one actually worked. I think it went up to 3. So I got in at 376. It popped up to 384. There was a resistance level. I want to say there was like a double top, like 387. And I was holding because I was hoping it would push through that level. Unfortunately, it didn't. I didn't stop out break even. Broke my rules. Got out for a 15-cent loss on that one. I think with those two combined, I was down 150. I tried CYN, took 1,000 shares on that one. It didn't work. I got out break even, so that was good risk management. I then took a dumb trade on AZI. It was showing up on one of my scanners. It was pretty low though. It was like the 12th stock from the top. Had no volume, but it was the only stock on the scanner that had a sub 1 million share float. So I jumped in it. I thought it might take off. I got in kind of at a key resistance level, hoping that it would break through that level, hit the scanners, other people would start buying, and we'd start ripping up. AZI has had some nice moves in the past few weeks. So with all that in mind, I got in. Nothing happened. I held it for a while. There was just no volume in it. No one was trading it. So I ended up taking about a 16 cent loss on that one. And then I tried ELAB. ELAB didn't work. That alert is ELPW. Still not really interested in it though. ELAB didn't work. That's the one where I think initially it did work by a few cents and then it just rejected hard. I couldn't get out fast enough. And then it looks like I scaled out of AZI. I had a pretty large position in AZI. I took 1,200 shares. So I kind of scaled out as that one went lower. But, you know, like I said, good days, there are things moving between 4 and 4:30. I didn't trade anything by 4:30. And then first two trades were losses. Everything was choppy. There were only 2 stocks that were even doing anything. I really did have that thought in the back of my mind, like, okay, like, we should just call it quits right here. Like, you're down 150. That's no big deal. Obviously, things aren't looking good. Let's, you know, sit back. Maybe don't trade for the rest of the pre-market session. I have to leave by like 7:30. And then come back for after hours and see if we have better opportunities. Unfortunately, I didn't listen to that voice in my head. I continued to trade and ended up down $481. That is above my max loss. Right now, I'm trying to keep my max daily loss at 300. That last trade on ELAB really screwed up that. I wasn't anticipating a 20-cent loss on that one. And then AZI also threw that off. But 481, it's not the end of the world. On good days, I can make more than that pretty easily. So it's unfortunate and it's an unnecessary loss. I definitely need better. So yeah, something to work on moving forward. Just recognizing when it's going to be slow, and also recognize, and I did recognize that I was forcing trades and it was low quality, but it's hard for me to have no trade days. It feels like I'm not doing my job if I don't trade. But case in point today, had I not traded, I have an extra $481. So by not trading, I actually would have made more money than trading. It might not quite make sense, but I think people who have had similar losses on days like this understand what I'm trying to say. So, this video, it could be pretty choppy. I'll probably just crop out the parts where like nothing's happening. I plan to kind of just lock in until 8, at least until 7, see if anything starts moving. I have some other stuff I'll probably work on the side, but Yeah, I'm here. Let's see if we can get anything going. Oh, real quick, I did see that move on NPT. Ridiculous. It happened just after 8 a.m. Looking back on the 1 minute here. Right there. This thing went from, I think it was like $8. Yeah. Prior candle had a high of $8.95. Got all the way up to 316 in 1 minute. And then came back down. I wasn't in front of my computer for this. I was just checking the scanners on my phone and I saw that this had popped up. I saw it after the fact. But it's super unfortunate. I'm not saying I would have nailed that one, and given how pre-market had that, how do I say it? My lackluster performance in pre-market prior to this move. Even if I had been in front of my computer, I'm not sure I would have jumped in this, because I probably would have been like, okay, like I'm gonna wait for a pullback. I need a super good quality setup. So I don't even know if I would have jumped in this, but had something like this happened at like 4 or even 6:30 to 7:30, I likely would have jumped in this. I mean, it's always easy to hindsight, like, oh, I would have got in here and sold at the very top. Like, obviously, in the moment, you don't know that. But I think I could have done decently well on this move. Had I been in front of my computer and had it happened a little bit earlier. These are the exact types of moves I get up at 4 a.m. for. Last summer, we had a move like this at 4 a.m. like almost every day. I think for the whole month of, like, I want to say July and August. Obviously not every day, but most of the days. That was actually one of the main reasons I switched to Webull. That and that a lot of moves are happening between 6:30 and 7, and with Thinkorswim you can't trade before 7. So those two things are why I switched last summer from Thinkorswim to Webull. But amazing move. Hopefully people watching this and other traders out there got a piece of this. You don't have opportunities like this very often anymore. So I really I don't know. Hopefully people got in for like the break at 10 and then rode this thing and sold as it hit like, I don't know, the 20, 25, 30. But even if you would have got in around 10 and sold like as it came back down, I mean, that's still $10 in profit. So it's an amazing move. It's kind of wild that it happened in 60 seconds. Like, it's crazy. But anyways, thought that was kind of cool. And now it's back down to $6. So stay away from that one. All right. Sit back and watch the scanner. Well, it's almost 8 o'clock here. After hours is about to close, and there were no opportunities from about 5 till now that I was willing to participate in. CIGL just kind of moving sideways, didn't really do anything. 5 o'clock till now. SUNE, it's under $2. It also is just kind of moving sideways, not doing a whole lot. LIMN, under $2. It did break through VWAP at about 715, but it just not that much volume. I didn't have high expectations for this one. If you look at the 1 minute candles, they look very market maker-y. If you know what I mean, they have a funny shape. They kind of just either flat top or flat bottom. Not much to work with there. INHD, kind of the same thing. Not a whole lot going on. ELPW, I mean, it's the same story across the board. Just nothing moving, nothing with volume, nothing that felt safe to get into. So no trades. That's okay though. At least I showed up, got some chair time. Ending the day down $481. Not great. Definitely wish I would have stopped around the 150 level when it started having those, like, I don't know, you could tell it just wasn't a good day to be trading small caps. But that's okay. I can make that back on a good day. So we move forward. I'll be back at it tomorrow in, what is that, like 8 hours from now? So I gotta get to bed so I can get some sleep. But yeah, I'll post the rest of the trades right after this video. They're not pretty. There's a lot of time where nothing is going on. I'll try to timestamp them within 24 hours of posting this. It'll be in the description of the YouTube video, and you should be able to click it and go straight to the trade. So, all right, hope everyone had a better day than I did, but it kept the loss relatively small. Still would have been better to avoid it, but that's okay. Hopefully some people got that NPT move, and we'll try again tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 3rd. I'm getting ready to start trading at 4 a.m. Got about 4 seconds to the opening, or I guess start of pre-market. Currently looking at FATN and FIEE. Those are really the only two that looked good from after hours yesterday. It kind of looked like the market was slowing down a bit yesterday. So I don't know how 4 a.m. is going to look today. It doesn't look too promising based on the after hour session, but see what happens. So FATN kind of gapped down, opening lower. I don't necessarily like that. FIEE kind of opened around where it closed last night, not doing much. We do have this descending resistance. FATN making up that gap. If this thing can push through about 358, I would like to get in, basically a break through those pivots it set in after hours. Large seller on the level 2 at 328. That's been the theme for the past 2 weeks. See INLF, that's a penny stock on the gap chart. I think FATN is the one to focus on right now. The other top 4 stocks on the scanner are penny stocks. FIEE is up there, but it's not doing much. That's about all I see right now. In AMM, closer at that one. Marking out some daily levels on NAMM in case it gets going. It's really about all I see. FIEE. See, we have this descending resistance line from the $9.11 high it hit in after hours yesterday. Second point of contact for that descending line is the 780 pivot. And you can see we essentially bumped into that line just now, falling back down. Not seeing a whole lot. FIEE looks like it might find support around the 687 level. Maybe. I wouldn't take a trade down here. I was just seeing if we kind of double bottomed on that 1 minute candle, but looks like we're breaking below it. FATN. This one's still in play. Really like to see a breakthrough 358. I would say a bit more of a aggressive trade could be the next 5 minute candle to make a new high, which would start in about 12 seconds. You'd look for that to break over 335. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, though. Don't see anything else on the scanners. Kind of starting at the bottom, working our way up. You have TER, super high priced. PLYX, high float, 47 million. XTKG and LIMN are both penny stocks. FIEE, it needs to break over that descending resistance line. HCAI, penny stock. Same with TIRX. Same with INLF. So I'd say as it sits right now, FATN and FIEE are really the only two contenders I'm considering. Yeah, so we sit tight. Yesterday seemed kind of slow after the 4 a.m. session. Actually looked like, I would say, the time period with the most action. I'm at work, but like I glanced at the charts throughout the pre-market session. I didn't see anything else that looked good until about 9:30 when the market opened. And then it looked like you had just a handful of stocks that put in a nice move from about 9:30 to 10. After that, I didn't see much. And then, like I said, after hours, you had some like pops like this you can see on the 5-minute chart where a stock just went straight up in an instant, and then there wasn't really anything else after that. So yesterday was kind of surprisingly slow. I thought with the amount of movement we saw at 4 a.m. usually that means like you're gonna have a busy day, but everything kind of just died off after that, so that was a bit surprising. Hopefully that doesn't mean we're cooling off. It's been nice the past like 2 or 3 weeks. The market's been like heating back up. So I hope that continues and we're not getting into kind of a lull, but let's see what happens. I'm still kind of not upset, just disappointed that I missed that like dollar pop at like 403 on CISS. I was there, I hit my hotkey, it just didn't execute. I still don't know what I did wrong. I definitely hit shift because I got visual confirmation that I had shift pressed. I think what might have happened is when I hit R, I let off of shift, like my hand rocked. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I know I didn't miss R. The R on my keyboard is textured, so I can like feel it without looking, which is really nice. I'm glad this keyboard does that. So I know I was there. I think I just let go of shift when I hit R, which is super unfortunate. That's a, like, I don't know, a few $100 of a mistake right there. Hopefully it won't happen again. And I'm pretty sure I pressed R. I have a mechanical keyboard, and the depress range is, I think it's like 2.5 millimeters. It's super tiny. So like it's almost like you breathe on the keyboard and it'll trigger. Not quite, but you know what I mean. All right, let's see what happens with FATN. This one's looking good. Still seeing some relatively large sellers on the level 2. Could get in for the first 5-minute candle and make a new high, but we're going right into resistance. So I think I'm gonna wait. That 1-minute candle looks good. We dropped it down, but there's a lot of buying pressure pushing it back up, putting in a topping tail or bottoming tail. I might try to get in for the flip over 347. I really don't. You have 2 resistance lines at play. You have that descending resistance line, and then you have the pivot at 358. But we are first 5-minute candle to make a new high, and this 1-minute candle looks good. Unless we see it, you know, actually, unless we see a ton of momentum, I might wait. Let it confirm that it's going to break through these resistance lines, and then get in for the next pullback. That's probably the safer, smarter move. The 200 is at about 550 on the daily chart, so about $2 away from that. Not a ton of range, but enough to make a little profit. And maybe not. Especially with that huge red 1-minute candle. So I also see NAMM, but it's around like the backside of the move. It had its move like a week or 2 ago. It just kind of keeps popping up and then dropping, popping up and dropping. It's kind of like TRNR last year. You just have random days where that thing will pop up and immediately reverse. And it happened for like months. EVTV. Got an okay daily setup, but no volume. See, it has a pullback on the daily, and you could look for that first candle to make a new high, or the next candle to make a new high. But the 200 EMA is at 3, so you get today's candle to make a new high versus the previous 1-minute candle, but probably going to hit your head on the 200, which isn't that far away. SOAR is a penny stock. EVTV, just talked about that one. NAMM. See, it had its move around January 21st, and kind of just on the backside of that. I suppose you could argue continuation in the first, or I guess the next daily candle to make a new high could provide an entry for a move higher, but I feel like we're scraping bottom of the barrel right now. Yeah. This could be a very lackluster video because nothing is happening. FIEE popping up, but this thing's got to prove it's gonna hold these levels and then move higher. Because I mean, it popped up right here too at 3 after 4, and then it just rejected. So I'd like to see a breakthrough 780. A nice kind of small pullback, and then get in for the move up to 911. I get up for the move to 9 because we might double top. Target would probably be like 890. Just to be safe. If you're being super aggressive, you could try to stay in for the breakthrough 9, but be afraid of a double top. HUBC. See anything there? Not yet. There's only 4,000 shares of volume. Get in this thing and it'll just reject. You have HUBC on the third chart just in case it does get moving. Yeah. 370 all the way back down to 265. Got 60-cent spreads. Stay away. So if we don't see something in about 7 minutes, I'm probably going to call it, give it till about 4:25, and then be back probably around 6:30. See if anything moves between 6:30 and 7:30. If not, then probably be back around 5. No, 4:30. Probably like 4:30. Try to trade after hours. So far, not seeing much for 4 a.m. Wilds. Don't see anything here. It just gapped up essentially. No volume. And it's around $1. I don't like trading. I noticed stocks under $2, especially in the 1 to 150 range. I do really poorly on. I don't have a good track record with that price stock, so I'm really trying not to trade anything under 2. I do realize we have opportunities on penny stocks almost every day. By penny stocks, I mean anything under $1. I don't have a good track record with these. I think it's the dynamic of having to increase your share size and then looking for like 3 or 4 cents. I'm just not good at that. It's not what I'm used to. I'm not good. Just everything about it just isn't good. So I definitely stay away from anything below $1. And then lately I've been trying to, probably the past like week, I've been trying to stay away from anything under $2. You know, if you're losing money doing something and not working to get better at it, you should just avoid it for the time being. I can always come back and try to learn how to trade these, but for right now, I don't need to focus on this. Like, I have other things I need to work on and improve. So basically staying away from anything under $2. So BNAI keeps popping up, but again, backside of the move. We had the move like a week ago, the initial move a week ago, and it's higher priced. MAMO. See anything there? NAMM. Not doing much. INDP. I like the float. Don't see anything. Wilds. This one closer to $1. Soar under $1. Bye. Still not doing anything. LIMN, INLF, penny stocks, FATN. Not doing much. So. Give this about 1 more minute and then I'm gonna head out. Probably have something hit the scanner right as I'm trying to like get out of here. That's okay. If we do, I'm just gonna let it go. Unless it looks amazing. But given the state of the pre-market, I'm not going to see anything. If I were to stay here, I still think FIEE can make a move. It's got to break above this descending resistance line, and then ideally it would break through the 780 pivot. You can see it tried twice, but it just couldn't break through that descending resistance line. I'd look for a breakthrough 780, try to get in for a pullback, and then set a target of 911, but in fear of it double topping and then recognizing you have a resistance level at the whole dollar of 9, I'd probably realistically set a target for like 890. If it does break through 911, I would then look for 10. FATN, kind of the same story, just different price levels. Descending resistance line, I'd look for it to break through the pivot of 358. 377 is close enough. It will probably just shoot straight through that. And then I'd probably just look for a pullback anywhere after 358 and try to get in for the next level up. Just keep in mind the 200 is at 560. All right, with that, I'm going to call it. I'll be back in probably about 2 hours. See if anything looks better then. All right, good luck, everyone. Thank you.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Well excited.
Yeah. They like that?